All right, and we are back with intrepid Brew Hoop reporter Gabe Stoltz. He heads to all the Bucks games for us. He's making his Brew Hoop podcast debut. Gabe, how are you doing? I know you just had a rowdy night last night, breaking in the Fiserv Forum.
Yeah, it was a great time. The Milwaukee's own Violent Femmes opened up the Fiserv with a show of their own, and then right after that, the Killers tested the foundation, playing as literally their lead man Brandon Flowers said. He didn't want to blow the roof off, but wanted to test the foundation, and it held up great. Yeah, it was a surreal experience, and just from a concert venue, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like during Bucks games in the future.
Yeah, I was going to say, and so the reason we really wanted to have you on is because for anyone who hasn't been able to get to the Fiserv yet, like me, sadly, we wanted like your hands-on impressions. You were there for the block party. You obviously went there for the concert last night. So let's just start with what you think stands out most in contrast to the old Bradley Center, whether it was it's just the new design, whether it's the not having everything look like old world 80s concrete. What to you has been like was the most exciting part?
Yeah, the concrete, missing the concrete is definitely something that you'll notice right away. You don't feel like you're in a prison cell or anything like that. Canned like sardines all smushed together in the concourses. It's really open. That's the first thing you notice, especially if you come in, say, from the east side and into the main atrium. It's just, if you've ever been in Lambeau Field and that atrium, that's what it sort of resembles.
Oh, wow.
Tightness of the escalators sprawling up on both sides of you, and I think it's either three or four floors that you can see up, and it's just all white too, and it just stands out incredibly. And that's literally the first thing that made my jaw drop, is just the sheer size of that atrium. And this is the main atrium that is going to be connected to the entertainment plaza, which will be connected to Old World 3rd Street, if you're familiar with downtown Milwaukee. So it's part of the Bucks owners' visions that they've had dancing in their eyes for the last 4 years or so. And seeing it come to fruition is just incredible. And be excited if you're a Bucks fan, and it's out of this world. It's everything about the new arena is it's state of the art, and literally blows the Bradley Center out of the water. It's really incredible.
Yeah, that's so awesome about the atrium, because I just always remember coming in and there's the narrow strip there where like people can go around, but you kind of feel like you're being immediately herded onto like whichever steps you have to take. So it's not like I ever sat really close to the stage, so it's like you pretty much just have to like be shepherded up the escalators going up to the upper decks or wherever you're going to be sitting. So that's really cool that they've opened it up so much and made it look, especially that they've whitewashed it too. I think that's a cool aesthetic choice.
Absolutely. And as you go up to your seats, say riding the escalators, and you go up the levels of the Arena Bowl and in that concourse area, it overlooks the entire skyline of Milwaukee. And because that whole side of the building is just sheer glass, and it's some pretty magical views, especially when the sun is setting. You just see the sun hitting all of those skyscrapers. It's a beautiful sight. It's definitely one of my favorite skyline views of Milwaukee, to be honest. It's right up there with some of the other scenic spots in the city. And for fans to see that at every Bucks game is going to be a real special treat. It's super cool.
Yeah, it seems like a great choice too, considering they have the advantage of being downtown, right? So they know they're like smack dab in the middle of the city. So allowing people to be sort of looking out and recognize the fact that you're right in the middle of this sprawling city, it seems like a really good use of resources.
Exactly. It's not like I obviously love Miller Park, but in terms of location and overall scenery with the city, it definitely has an advantage in that facet. And all the Bucks fans are going to love it. It's truly a sight to see, and it's going to be really cool to see all the fans witness it for the first time.
So, I mean, obviously there wasn't a game going on when you were walking around for the block party or whatever, but they talked a lot about as you're walking around the concession stands and just walking around the arena and that kind of stuff, allowing like pretty clear sight lines into the bowl. What were your impressions of that? Did that seem to have come to fruition, or are they just are they talking that up too much? What did you think?
No, I think they hit the nail on the head. You can be walking around and still feel as if you're part of the game. It's a lot like at Miller Park, how you can walk around the concourse and still see the action going on. Last night was just a concert with the Killers in town. But when I was walking around when the Violent Femmes were playing, the sound was great. The angles were great. You could see everything. And another cool part that I forgot to mention about the whole arena is the Panorama Club, which is located at like up in the rafters, literally. It feels like you can just reach up and touch the metalwork that's sprawling across the court. And the really cool thing that the Bucks have done is that in any other stadium, it feels as if that would be a VIP zone where you'd need a special ticket to get access, and where drinks would be double the price and everything. But no, it's open to anybody that has a ticket to the event. So you could be sitting in the nosebleeds on the opposite side of the stadium, but you get access to that Panorama Club. And the views from the court are incredible, or of the court are incredible. And then there's also a ledge that is built into the arena itself, which I'm sure everybody's seen in the renderings and all the pictures that have been shared of the completed arena. And that's free as well. You just go out there and it's just overlooks the entire skyline. It really is beautiful. So yeah, there really isn't a bad seat in the house, especially with them flip-flopping the seating structure compared to the Bradley Center, where the Bradley Center, originally built for hockey and its sight lines to see the puck, had more seats situated in the upper deck rather than the lower bowl. And my seats for the concert last night were in the upper deck, and that didn't have any impact on the sound or the sight lines or anything like that. It was just perfect all around, and everyone around me was enjoying it as well. It's not as steep as the Bradley Center upper deck stairs.
Man, I was always so scared having to go up because I would usually sit like 3 rows from the top. I always got freaked out.
Yeah, it gives you some like vertigo and into you, but no, it's great seating. They're all cushioned. The seats are very comfortable compared to the like with just a thin layer of cloth at the Bradley Center on those seats. So they're all cushioned, and they're very comfortable, and there's not a bad seat in the house.
I think that's going to be the biggest thing. I'm so glad that they have shifted around, and obviously they've been touting the fact it's made purely for basketball for a long time. Now, was that, I remember Peter Feigen was talking about the special app that you could just press a button and get a beer delivered to your seat in that Yahoo article a while back. Was that in functioning yet for the Killers concert, or not yet?
I'm not sure if that was in function, but that would be my only complaint. The price of alcoholic beverages there. It's very, I think it's like $11 for a Coors.
Okay.
It's very overpriced, but I mean, you'll get that a lot of places you go. So if that's the main gripe that I have with the arena, so be it.
Yeah. I think that happens regardless in any sports stadium. You're walking into a trap there.
Yeah.
So one of the ways of mitigating that, of course, though, is not that I'm condoning drinking, but you can have some beverages before you go into the game and that kind of stuff. And they've talked a lot about sort of building up the area calling it like an entertainment and sports center, and building up like the plaza and everything around the stadium. So what stage of development is that in, and what's that look like in comparison to the old plaza and stuff in front of the Bradley Center?
Yeah, the frameworks are going up. Good City Brewing, which is a popular microbrewery in Milwaukee, is going to be making its name known down there and have its own location, along with some sort of Dave and Buster's sort of esque arcade restaurant style place. I think it's called like Punch Bowl Social or something. I guess I'd never heard of it before the Bucks introduced them, but I guess there's all over the North America with their restaurants. But yeah, that's going to be great. You can see it literally coming up. It's pretty much they have the skeleton of all the buildings created, so you can see how it's going to look. And yeah, I don't know when they exactly plan on finishing that. I don't. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know when they're gonna do it, but they're definitely on the way to doing so. And it's I wouldn't see any setbacks, so knock on wood. But that's gonna be really cool too. Just the entertainment plaza, 'cause, it's gonna give fans access year round to that area and revitalize that area, even when the Bucks aren't playing.
Yeah, I think that's such a cool addition because it was so hard. I mean, I would usually because I was usually coming from out of town. I lived in Madison, so I would just like park and hit up some bars on I think it was Water Street or whatever, and then just sort of make the schlek over there. But it's nice to have a place like a watering hole that's close by that you could stop at before you heading in.
Yeah, absolutely. The fans are gonna love it, and hopefully those beer prices are a little lower. But yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be a blast for all the fans that are coming to Bucks games and just any event at the arena itself.
Well, that's awesome, Gabe. Well, it sounds like rave reviews. I really appreciate you coming in and going to that block party and going to the Killers concert and being able to report for sad people like me who are out in Philly and haven't been able to see it yet. But I'm looking forward to my first time in. So thanks for giving everyone the lowdown.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Adam.
Yeah, and you can give out your Twitter account too, so people can give you that follow, because Gabe will be at games for us all season long, hopefully too.
If you guys want to follow along with my bad tweets, you can find me on twitter.com at my handle is at Stoltzy3. So my last name plus a Y and the number 3. So that's where you can find me and my bad tweets.
I'll give Gabe's tweets a thumbs up. They're not that bad. So thanks again for joining us, Gabe. And that's been it for this episode of the Brew Hoop Podcast. Thanks for listening in on the first segment we recorded with Riley and Mitchell, and we'll be back again soon. Thanks.